The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7. Yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. First carry now for Gus Edwards. 5 yards on the game's first. Play, second down.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 23-yard line.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Jackson going to give this one to Edwards. Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for the first with Edwards. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And now Jackson will look to throw it. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. On 2nd down, it's Edwards. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Man open, that's Robert Foster complete. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play. So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 48-yard line. Edwards now on 1st and 10. And he's got this down to the 35. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone. He's coming. Double up, double up. He's coming, double up. Alert flare, alert flare. 22, jet, cover. 22,
They'll go back to Edwards on first down. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Let's go. You tighten up.
Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
We see drops happen on hitch routes. A lot of the time it's because the timing's off on the play or trying to get... his head upfield right before he secures the pass. Last thing, though, it's such an explosive move on the hitch route that sometimes they don't get their body settled before the ball gets there.
Play number 9 now on this pretty long opening drive, but this is third down.
49 the mic, 149.
From the gun, Jackson. And he's going to have the connection to Foster. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And he's got a first down as a tackle made at the Bills' 19. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this. And, hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, is working really well.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
Throwing on second down, Jackson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts.
Tighten up. Pull it together.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And this is going to double their room to maneuver, able to get it from the 5 to the 10-yard line.
I think they're ahead of schedule now after that run. They might be bold with this second down call after that type of a game.
The first down run got 5. Here's second and 5. Allen going to throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Hakeem Butler there, and it's third and 5.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
They come up now, third and 5, following the incomplete pass. From the gun, it's Allen. Finding Knox there, complete. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. 12 yards that time, and a Bills first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 15 yards that time, and a Buffalo first.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid game.
Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's first and 10 up at the 46. Allen fakes the give and keeps himself. Catch is made by Hurd. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Give him 18 on that one as the Bills are going to have a first down. Second quarter now in Buffalo. It's the Bills in control of the football as they've got it with a first and 10. Second quarter now in Buffalo. It's the Bills in control of the football as they've got it with a first and 10. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Check three. It's a safety creep.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
At the Ravens' 38-yard line.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. They go back to the ground with Johnson. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. All told, it's an even 30 and a 1st down. This is a very impressive drive, especially when you consider where they started from to now be set up 1st and goal.
Yeah, and some nice running right there. That's what got them the 1st down. But at this point, I suggest open up your playbook. You can call just about what you want.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Jalen Hurd, the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd and goal.
At the Ravens' 13-yard line.
So 1st down went in the wrong direction. They're at the 13-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. They run it with Carson. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long 3rd and goal.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers. There's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
3 yards on the keeper, and it's 4th down. This situation in the 4th quarter, you go for it. But here, take the points.
If you go for it here and don't get it, you and I are missing our plane, and we're going to the post-game press conference to hear him justify it. Because the next thing we'll see is the owner walking in announcing a firing. There is no way he goes for it here. Get the field goal. It's the first half of the game. You've got time to make it up.
This fielded at the 2. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Here we go.
Now it's Edwards. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
On 3rd and 1, Jackson. Being chased out left. Taking matters into his own hands, and he picks up 4 yards and a 1st down.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a 1st down.
Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 12 yards the pickup there, good for a Raven first. So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 44-yard line. They'll run on 1st down. It's Edwards, and he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
On 2nd down and 4, Jackson is going to fire one deep over the middle. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. And he gets it to the 32, good enough for a 1st down. A nice 1st down pickup on a gain of 6.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
Here's Edwards. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join, who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. 16 yards on that one at a Raven first.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They go play action now. Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches. And Jackson throwing once more. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is. And that one, my goodness, that was almost too easy.
Yeah, and you're not going to have too many attempts shorter than that one. I don't think anyone got a finger on it. That's about as bad a miss as you can have.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And you're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you've got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. It's Knox, the tight end, making the catch. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. This time they stay on the ground. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. So we've reached halftime here on Christmas Day as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, not much has changed since we left you at halftime. The snow still continuing to fall as we are back underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that.
Here we go.
From the 22, Allen. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down.
57 to Mike. 57.
So the shotgun snap to Allen. It's caught. Jones. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Give them 22 yards, and that's also where they snapped it from, the 22.
First down. First and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Where's he, 19? 52. 52's the mic. I'm coming. I'm coming. I'm coming.
The first down carry here for Johnson. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
52. I know he ain't got it. Pass. No. Check that. We want Mike to go.
On second and 11 now. Allen. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Open man is heard. It's complete. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 38-yard line. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Now a first down run is sniffed out from the start as he'll drop him for a loss of 4. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, this has been a good march down the field, but now they're stuck looking at a 2nd and 14. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
On third down, Johnson. There he goes inside the 30. And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Well, close game, second half. You obviously hate to leave 3 out on the field.
Especially in a game like this when you know points are hard to come by. That was one of their best opportunities so far, and they come away with nothing.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally, because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Yeah, they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. This is Edwards. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Jackson. That's into the hands of Edwards.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. They go play action with Jackson. Towards the end zone for Brown. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Hollywood Brown, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on 3rd. From the gun, it's Jackson. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Andrews. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18. Jackson now, 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%. And it's 1st and 10. Now a run with Edwards. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
At the 24-yard line.
From the 24, Jackson. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. Now it's Jackson. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. The Raven passing game getting in sync, another first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
They run once more with Edwards. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. Jackson. And it'll be intercepted. Snags it for the pick. And he will bring this all the way up to the 30-yard line.
Let's go, baby. Pick six all day. Don't throw my son.
The Bills take over first and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
They run again with Carson. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. And they go jet sweep with the former running back Hurd. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. They'll throw with Allen. The pass complete to Hakeem Butler. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On 3rd down, it's Johnson. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 15 yards that time, and a Buffalo first.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Alert!
Operating from the gun, Allen. This one into the hands of Hurd. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo first down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Running the jet sweep with Jones. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Where's it? Half 85, half 85. Screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the ad. Go.
4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Even though positive yardage was gained on that play, I think the defense has to be happy. Obviously, they were prepared for some trick plays coming into the game, and they looked very aware that those could happen on any given down.
Hey, let's get there. No, check that. We're on Mike 52 right here. 52, Army.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. And he'll spot Hurd open left side. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down. So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up.
Let's go, defense.
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard that time, second and goal.
This is where coaches have to have spent a lot of time going over situations with their players, because him getting tackled there is not the worst thing in the world. You're going to run more plays, right? Clock's going to go. But his thought process is getting into the end zone. It's counterintuitive for him to actually go down in this spot.
Yeah, but like you say, you don't want to get in the end zone too early here.
No, not at all, because you may leave an opening that could come back and get you.
Allen fakes the give and keeps himself. Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe he didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Maybe you do start to watch. Is the arm there, the leg's still there? This has been a tough game. They come out here in the eye. This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. They'll try to run it in. Johnson. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to bring up a 4th and goal. This defense continues to be good on 3rd down. I mean, they haven't allowed a touchdown offensively. Are you saying, let's go for this? Let's try to get it in the end zone.
I don't know about that because of what you just described. They've been so good, and they don't give up the big play that you would expect in downs 1 through 3. Why should 4th down be any different? You might want to go ahead and kick the field goal and see if you can figure out something else as this game moves on.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. I tell you what, it's kind of hard to imagine. They have not scored a single point, and yet they're in this position, a touchdown drive here, and they're in the lead.
Normally, when you have 0 on your side of the ledger on the scoreboard, you're a little bit discouraged. But when they look over and see their opponents, they don't see a number that's way out there. They don't see a number they can't attain. In fact, they can get it right here on this drive and potentially take the lead.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. That one good for 26 and a first down. Here's Jackson. Dancing to his left. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll make this a 2nd down. Gosh, given the time in the short game, would he have been better off just dropping that?
Yeah, when you look at the clock, you think so, but it's hard to get a receiver to drop a football. They're trained to catch everything.
They'll look to throw. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with 65 seconds remaining. Throwing now is Jackson. And nearly intercepted there. That would have been ball game if he had clinched it and caught it. Instead, it gives him one more chance here on 4th down. So down 6, and they know they need this one on 4th down.
I'm coming after you.
They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. And he's going to have the connection to Foster. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. 12 yards the pickup there. Good for a Raven first. Jackson and the offense come up 1st and 10. And he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. But really nice knockdown. He has so much pressure in these situations on defensive backs. What are they taught?
Play the ball, not the man. Because if you have a pass interference penalty in this spot, boy, oh boy, you put your team in a bad place.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Jackson to throw. That is caught at the 7. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. A very solid gain of 27. They come up on a 1st and goal and most likely 4-down territory as they need a touchdown and the PAT for the lead. Back to throw. They'll roll him out right. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. There have been quite a few plays they might look back on and say, we really have hurt ourselves, and that was another example.
And this is late-game execution. Everything on the line, so it all has to come together properly. The throw's made. Where's the catch? Got to catch in that spot.
Back to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown. And they're an extra point away from taking the lead here in the final minute. They got the dramatic score to tie the game here late 4th quarter. Now all eyes resting on the foot of one man.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Your brother called me before the game. That's his guy in fantasy. He needs this one badly.
And it's no good. He missed it. And the game remains tied. Oh, boy. So back even at 6 apiece as the kick's away. This fielded at the 2. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Johnson. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining. Now Allen. Jones has it. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 23 yards the pickup there. Right now, everything resting on the right foot of Jake Elliott. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. Right now, everything resting on the right foot of Jake Elliott. They'll spot it at the 40. It's a 50-yard kick for the win. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And here in overtime, if the team that receives... So we're right back where we started. All even as the kick's away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
At their own 28-yard line.
Ready, ready.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. First throw in overtime now for Jackson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. Another nice job there defensively. They've really stymied their passing attempts, and it continues in overtime.
And for them to do that, that means they've had to be cohesive on defense. Pressure in the quarterback's face. Good coverage of not just the wide receivers, but the tight end, the running backs when they try and slip out, and making sure they're at the point of attack. When the ball's in the air, they get there and help force some of those incompletions.
Jackson now on 2nd and 10. He'll get this to Edwards out of the backfield. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first. Jackson on first down. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Jackson from the shotgun. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. He's going, wide open, complete. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Now, partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters what you wanted, but how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for the Ravens, it's a critical win for them as it gets them to 9-6 on the year. And they'll have another road date next week with the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for Buffalo, it's a tough blow to their playoff aspirations as they drop to 9-6. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.